Cool. Thank you guys so much for joining our short little webinar today. We'll be doing a couple of these sessions over the next few weeks just so that our channel feels very confident with our new product, our new CommBox S5. We've had it out in market for a little while now, but we're really starting to see some really cool features, and especially with the lead up to our Flying Fox release coming out in just a few weeks, I really wanted to take this time to show you guys what value it is adding so that you feel equipped and confident enough to go out and share that with all of your customers as well. So today we're just going to focus on some core features. Everything we go through over the next few weeks is going to be very specific, very straight to the point. Sometimes we'll go for that half an hour time frame. Sometimes we'll cut it a bit short, just depending on any questions that might come through. And if I feel like I've been able to communicate exactly what I need to you guys as well. So we're going to start off with, we're going to cover off 3 core features today. We're going to look at widgets within CommBox S5. We're going to look at, and the different types of widgets that we have. We're going to look at the lobby feature that's coming out with the Flying Fox release in a couple of weeks and how we apply that. And we're going to look at CommBox Experience, which is a specific app on the S5, which enables us to do a lot of things. So we're going to dive a bit deeper into that today and just look at how that applies into certain verticals so that you're able to correlate the 2 things and then be able to verbalize that back out. And then in return, be able to have your customers using the CommBox S5, whether that's in a classroom, in a boardroom, in an ideation space, or in a lobby space as well. So let's get stuck in. Here, I've already logged in, so I will loop back around, but first we're going to start with widgets. I'm just going to zoom in on my camera. One moment. There we go. Back to the center. Oh. Cool. So I've already logged into my CommBox account today. This is my wallpaper and my icons that I like. You can see my name is logged in on the top right-hand corner. And this is how I like to have my home screen. This icon here would look very different to any other CommBox icon that you have seen, and that's because it's not the standard icon that comes with. It's actually one of our widgets that I've just created. So we have 3 types of widgets. We have an app widget. CommBox Connect, as you all know, is an application for screencasting or mirroring. We have an input widget. So I have an MTR connected. I can have that set as a widget, and we'll explore that a bit more in a sec. And then I can have web widgets. So Chrome, utilizing Chrome or a URL, and be able to create a widget from that. The input widget, though, specifically is an industry first. No one else has been able to create a widget that you're able to interact with or click through with in our industry just yet. So I'm actually really excited to be able to show you guys that today, but our widgets as a whole. So as I grab and drag this widget here, very much like the S4 on the icons that you have, but by grabbing the corner, you can start to resize your widget. And it'll snap to a grid. This particular one here is Connect. So normally you would have the little Connect window up in the top corner. I have mine open up in my widget here. The benefit of having it in a widget for this particular one is I can see the name of the screen. So I can cast straight away. I don't necessarily need the number to put into the app. So that just gives me really good ease of use. But if I was to create any other widget, let's use my whiteboard as an example. So I find my whiteboard application, drag that onto my home screen, drag and drop the corner to resize my widget, and that's my whiteboard. So the whiteboard, the application widget takes a screenshot of whatever is happening in that app at that time and shows you a preview of that. So the whiteboard is a perfect example of an app widget. Drag and drop the corner to resize, and you can design that home screen to really be your own. An input widget. So I can drag and drop this one into remove. Let me show you an input widget as an example. Open up my launcher. I'm going to bring in my MTR. So this is actually HDMI 1. We have so much control and power over the CommBox Classic S5. My MTR, which is HDMI 1, drag and drop, that gives me a preview now into HDMI 1, which is set up as an MTR. Utilizing our poly, or the back end of the poly solution, I've also have CommBox signage. So what will start to play after a certain time frame is just some signage in this small little widget on the screen as well. So we've covered off using the whiteboard as an app widget. I've now shown you very quickly HDMI 1 as our input widget. Then we can also have a web widget, which is interactable. The awesome thing about this, and a great example, is using our CommBox signage. What you can do is do CommBox signage, mediaplayer.commbox.com.au will give you access to the browser version of signage. You can create a widget utilizing that and then use that little widget box to show any kind of digital signage. It's really powerful and actually probably one of my most used ones that I have on every single screen around here. So there are awesome different widgets. What I love about this is it enables your customers to fully control their home screen. In the S4, we have semi-control, as in you're able to bring through your shortcuts and have different options. But with the CommBox Classic S5, we've given you even more control. And giving you more control, but in a really secure way. This is a screenshot that I've managed to grab from our lobby, which it proved itself to be actually quite difficult because of how locked down our screens are. Grabbing a screenshot of a very locked down mode on the CommBox operating system. So this is one of our standard presets that we have for a lobby. What is a lobby? It enables the screen to be the most secure that it can be. It forces any user that walks up to it to have to either create an express session or log into your CommBox accounts to be able to use the board. If you have an MTR connected, you can just tap on that and join your meeting. When your meeting ends, it'll automatically push you out of that input back to your safe, secure section of the lobby. So I've highlighted a few sections of the home screen, and I'll show you mine in a second. On the right-hand side, we have a little window that says Express Session. What is an Express Session? Forces you to start a session to be able to whiteboard, screen share, or use anything with the board. Why do we have this? Because it is the most secure way to use a screen in a shared environment. Can't tell you how many times I've screen shared, then stopped screen sharing up on the board, but I'm still connected and walked out of the room, forgetting to disconnect my connection to the CommBox Connect app. Using the CommBox Express or basing everything that you're doing off the lobby forces you to kick out at the end of the session. So coming back to the point of the CommBox being the most secure screen on the market, with the Flying Fox release, it is forcing you to have a session to utilize any feature of the interactive screen. Everyone on here already knows CommBox accounts, so the bottom right-hand section is how you log in. We now have NFC built in, so you can just tap on the NFC reader on the bottom, just off center of the S5 screen. So you can log in and get access to your OneDrive and your settings as well. The main piece on the board is a MTR input. So input widget straight through to our MTR. I can tap on that, start my meeting, and I'm ready to go. What I love about the lobby is it now enables corporate environments to do more with their interactive screens. We're seeing that uptake of interactivity in a boardroom, meeting room space, but what I still saw was a lockdown of what we can do with that screen. Enabling Lobby has given all of our end users the most confidence to be able to deploy this now into their meeting room spaces and be able to give all their employees the confidence and ability to do more with the screen. Whiteboard, open up browsers based on the screen. Screen share in a really secure way. So I'm so excited having the lobby on the screen. It just means we can go in and kick down more doors in an enterprise or SME level, enable collaboration, Most importantly, encourage them to do a lot more around productivity. We can by far increase productivity by enabling collaboration. And now we can do that in a very clear, safe way using the CommBox lobby. Now I spoke about the experience. Actually, before I go, this is just one preset that you can have on your lobby. If I move over into my next page, this is another preset that we have, which is more around education. We know the education space is a little bit different. They still have meeting rooms where the lobby would apply, but around the classroom, we have different types of presets. So the whiteboard app widget, which I spoke about already, is here on the right-hand side. On the left, we're using the Vivi app to do this particular one, but if you had the Vivi blue box, you could also do an input widget. And then down the bottom section are just all shortcuts of educational apps that our teachers are using. So this is another preset that we have that's based around education. And then the third one is a very simple one. Again, what I love about the ultimate control with the CommBox Classic S5 is that you can design it depending on how you want your users using it. This is a real beginner's level or simplified version of the CommBox S5. You want to start with just encouraging whiteboarding and just promoting wireless screen sharing. Let's remove everything else. We can remove everything from the sidebar as well and really simplify this. But this is where we can start, giving all of our end users confidence, bite-sized pieces. As you start to introduce more apps, maybe ones that are quite popular, you can add them to the bottom or simply add them to the side. But we've really just given the most control back to our IT managers, which I'm super excited about. Cool, the CommBox experience. Now, we speak about this at CommBox a lot, whether we're talking about the experience of our resellers, the information we want to be able to provide to you. But in terms of the CommBox experience on the CommBox Classic S5, speaks about how we want to set up the screen. I can't give an end user ultimate control without taking them through an onboarding. The screen does that for you. Not only does the screen do that for you, but what it enables is for you as the reseller to sit with them, be able to take them through, onboard your end user and provide a training, configure the entire setup of the screen. And in some use cases, when you have a deployment, more than 10 screens, be able to take this image and push it out through CommBox Manage, our remote MDM. We all understand the concept of imaging devices. Generally, we see that with PCs. We didn't need to recreate the wheel. How can we now enable this with our larger shared devices? We do that with the CommBox Experience Setup app. So down the side here, you won't see this just yet. If you have a CommBox Classic S5, you need to wait for Flying Fox to come out. But you'll have all these different tabs, and you literally just work your way down. So if you already had one on a USB, you could just put that in and be able to have the screen image itself. When we come into this section here, this is where you get to turn everything on and off. You have ultimate control down to apps, through to inputs. If you want to move teachers away from using HDMI and only using USB-C because it can charge your laptop, you can lock down the HDMI ports and the USB-A ports and just leave open the USB-C ports. Not just the front, but the side as well. Ultimate control down to app level. Simply use the toggle on the right-hand side to turn apps on or off. And something super powerful, being Google certified enables us to do so much more. It really opened up our ability to access the store, access a few Google security patches as they support their side as well. But it gave us maybe a little bit too much. The Google certified mode and settings is really still designed for personal devices. So turning on the CommBox Classic S5 for the first time, going through and creating your own image of the CommBox Classic S5 through the CommBox Experience Setup, Just allows you to totally wrangle that and be able to present that back to your users in the most efficient and effective way. So we can design the home screen, like I spoke about, a whole bunch of presets on here that you can choose from, apply it to new users on accounts, apply it to your lobby, set your wallpaper, create a pin lock. You can create pins for settings as well, so no one can go in. Again, coming back to ultimate control. Then when you're done, back onto, this is my CommBox account. When I'm finished, I log out. And the preset that we've selected from CommBox or for our CommBox meeting room spaces is the MTR one that you've seen. So I've got my MTR window coming through here. And then on the right-hand side, I can start an express session if I quickly wanted to whiteboard or screen share. But if I want to access something in my OneDrive, I can just log in with my NFC. Do we have any questions so far, Ben?
No.
Cool. The CommBox S5 is really designed to scale. So as we're talking through our customers as to why the S5, some of the key words that we should be utilizing, and you've probably heard me say it a lot today, is ultimate control. You are in control of what you do from a settings and config setup, all the way through to in control as to what your users or the people who are using the screen can actually access, giving you the most secure screen on the market. You hear CommBox speaking quite a lot about secure, cyber secure. What we're doing our part to make the screen as secure as possible. Maybe you actually haven't come across end users who are, one of their first questions being is around cybersecurity. I can tell you now in the next 6 to 12 months, it's definitely going to be a talking point. We're not expecting you to be able to answer everything. We have a 110-page white paper that will give you all the answers. Not only give you the answers if you're interested in upskilling, but a white paper that you can pass on to your end users to show that you have their back. The screen is an endpoint on your network, but you can trust that whenever you put a CommBox device on your network, it is going to be safe. And they've done everything that they can as an organization, and they've done everything they can to the experience that is on board to make it the most secure that they can. So as I've said, if they're not asking now, they will be. I think it's an important time to be forthcoming and going, hey, did you also know? You know, why do you keep talking to me about CommBox? They're Australian owned and operated. You know, they're the most secure screen on the market. Oh, I don't care about security. You should be caring about security. If you're not now, you will be once something might happen or someone in the government enforces you to. It's just something that future-proofs you. Utilizing those keywords, in control, ultimate control, scalable. You want to start with just screen sharing? We can start there. You can train in bite-sized pieces as we go further down the track. We start to introduce stuff like whiteboard. Let's now turn the whiteboard on now that you want to use that. Okay, let's look at setting up an MTR space. Let's add a camera on. Let's start to really video enable our space here now. Scalable, future-proof, collaboration, really promoting back into the office. What happens when I don't need to bring anybody in remotely anymore and we're all sitting at the table? What can I now do with the screen? Really asking, I think what I love about our brand and what my sales team do is not just respond to somebody that goes, I need a screen for my boardroom. It's let's sit down, let's see where your business is heading in the next 5 years, and let me design you a solution that's going to align with your business outcomes. That's going to tick the box as to what you need now, but also quite possibly tick the box in 4-5 years' time as well. I think then when we can lead that conversation, it can really enable us to see quite a bit of success in our with our customers. And then in return, them continuing to come to you for other issues that they might have or improvements that they also might want to see within their infrastructure, whether that be hardware or software. Cool. So just to recap everything we've spoken about today, widgets. This is an input widget that you can see here, HDMI input, that is passed through to our poly unit up the top. You saw my app widget, which was whiteboard. We can also have a browser widget or a web widget, which we can actually interact with through the widget there. We spoke about the lobby, which is what you see behind me. That's how we make the screen the most secure, forcing you to have an express session or forcing you to log into your CommBox account. We spoke about config. So utilizing CommBox Experience to configure the entire experience on the CommBox Classic S5. Not only being able to configure that as it is, but also the power to load that into CommBox Manage, which is our remote manage platform, and be able to deploy that to any screen, anywhere, any CommBox screen, anywhere. Being Google certified enables us to use the CommBox store. But again, the Google certification is designed for a personal device, so the CommBox experience enables us to wrangle that and make that secure again. Keywords to use: future-proof, collaboration, in control, scalable, and cybersecurity. If it's not a point that they're thinking about now, guaranteed they will be in the next 6 to 12 months. And let's make sure that we're leading with that. Again, we've got a 110-page document. You can reach out to our sales team to get a copy if needed. Or if you want to do a training session around how cybersecurity is impacting our screens or how they speak to each other, reach out to our sales team to do that. If you want a more detailed session around the CommBox Classic S5, maybe how to demo it, or even just want to be able to learn as you go, our team is set up to be able to deliver you S5 demos for your customers. Use the team to be able to do that for you. Bring them into your opportunity. They will do the demo. They'll help you close that opportunity. We've got experience centres in Queensland, up in Brisbane, here in Sydney, up on the northern beaches, and we also have access to an experience centre in Melbourne and Perth. The power of when you get to experience it, feel it, touch it, see it yourself, really helps that opportunity to close. After this session, you'll receive a little pack with the S5 cheat sheet that you guys can keep on your laptops. But yeah, I want you guys to leave this knowing that demo is how we close opportunities. So let's drive as many demos as we can. And in terms, thanks, Scott. Yes, we also have Auckland, an experience centre up in Auckland where you can come and see the S5 and LED as well. In terms of, I think the most exciting part is our CommBox giveaway. So after every session, Ben and I will be recording a short little video using our CommBox spinner. And every week for the next 6 weeks, we'll be giving away a CommBox Classic 65-inch S5 to go into your own experience centre. So follow us on LinkedIn. That's where we will be posting the video shortly after this. And yes.
Just one question.
Go for it.
Is the MTR widget running from a slot-in PC?
The MTR widget is running from the poly unit at the top. So not from a slot-in PC, from HDMI 1. But you can have a widget using our slot-in PC as well. Because that is an input. Good question. Cool. Like I said, follow us on LinkedIn. The post will be up in the next hour as to who the winner is today. And I'll see you guys again next week. Same time, same place, probably. And yeah, see you guys then. Bye.